Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most frustrating problems that's been holding back pretty much everyone who uses AI. We're going to look at a feature that completely changes the game by giving your AI the one thing it's always been missing: a persistent brain. So, let me just ask you this. Does it ever feel like your AI has a serious case of amnesia? You have this amazing, productive conversation, you get a ton of work done, but the very next time you open a new chat, poof, it's a total blank slate. It has forgotten literally everything you just taught it. It's maddening, right? Well, this isn't just you. It's a huge issue, and we can actually call it the continuity problem. Every single time you talk to an AI, you're in what's basically a disposable thread. As soon as that chat is done or the context window fills up, you are right back at square one, repeating yourself over and over and over. What a massive waste of time.
But what if there was a solution? Well, that's exactly where Claude Co-Work Projects come in. The best way to think about it is like giving your AI a dedicated, persistent brain for every single area of your work or your life. It's this continuous intelligence that just gets smarter and smarter the more you use it.
This right here perfectly captures the giant leap we're talking about. We're moving away from a disposable tool that forgets everything to a persistent workspace that actually knows you. So instead of forcing you to repeat yourself, it gets smarter over time. It stops being just a tool and becomes a workspace that truly understands you and your business. Okay, so let's dive into this. To really get how this all works, we need to break down the anatomy of a project. It's built on four fundamental components that all work together to create that persistent brain we've been talking about. So first, it starts with instructions. This is where you lock in your brand voice, your rules, your tone. Then you've got contacts, which is basically your knowledge base, all your files, links, you name it. Next up is memory. And honestly, this is a huge trend people are totally sleeping on. The AI's memory is scoped per project. That means your YouTube project won't get mixed up with your invoicing project. And finally, you have scheduled tasks for some seriously powerful automation, like telling it to summarize industry news for you every single morning. So, how do you actually use all this? Well, the goal here is to build your very own personal operating system, an AI environment that is completely and totally customized to you. Let's walk through the 3 simple steps to make that happen. It's a really straightforward process, actually. First, you connect your world by linking up your apps and defining your skills. Second, you decide on the main projects or buckets for all your work. And third, you configure each one of those projects with all the right context and knowledge it needs to be useful. Let's start with step 1, connecting your world. This is the absolute foundation. If you don't give the AI the right tools, the right access, or the right skills, you're just going to severely limit what it can do for you. And this involves 2 key parts. First, you add connectors. This just means linking up all the apps you use every day, like your Notion, your Google Drive, maybe even Canva. This gives Claude access to your tools. Think of it like handing the AI its toolbox. Then you create skills, which is where you teach it how to use those tools. So if there's any task you do more than once, say creating an invoice, you can create a skill for it, and it acts like a perfect, repeatable template.
Okay, so once you've given Claude its toolbox, it's time to give it a purpose. This means deciding on the main buckets or projects that are going to organize your entire personal OS.
So, this is crucial, choosing the right projects. Just ask yourself, what tasks am I repeating every single week? What context do I find myself explaining again and again to my AI? And what kind of work has a ton of moving parts, like files and emails and research? Here's a great tip. Try to aim for no more than 8 core projects. It'll keep everything focused and way more manageable. Now for the really powerful part, bringing a project to life. Once you've created a bucket for something like YouTube or your small business, you need to feed it the right information to make it truly incredibly powerful. And this quote just nails the power of this step. As Jack Roberts puts it, once you've done that, you never really need to do that ever again. You give the project its core knowledge, your strategy documents, your brand guidelines, links to your important work, just one time, and it becomes a permanent part of that project's brain. Which brings us to the ultimate payoff, the core benefit you can't really show in a short explainer: persistent memory. From now on, whenever you talk to Claude about YouTube inside your YouTube project, it'll just remember all of your previous conversations. No more repeating yourself. Everything has a beautiful, organized home. Before we wrap up, it's really important to clear up one common point of confusion. Inside Claude, you've got 2 main environments: Co-Work and Code. They serve slightly different purposes, and knowing the difference is going to help you pick the right tool for the job. As you can see here, the differences are pretty clear. Co-Work has a much more polished visual interface. It's great for things like HTML reports, and it's built for team sharing. It's really perfect for new users. Code, on the other hand, is all about speed and raw power. It's built for individual power users, especially if you find yourself hitting usage limits. It's more basic, sure, but it is incredibly powerful. So the whole idea of a disposable AI chat, it's over. You can now build a persistent brain that actually learns and grows with you. And this isn't just some small update. It is a fundamental shift in how we're going to interact with AI. Which really leaves us with one final thought. Your AI now has a memory. What are you going to teach it first?